Hi guys, and welcome back to another art video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're unfamiliar, my name is Brett Allen, and I like to make art videos, or the occasional vlog or whatever I feel like making at the time. Essentially, I just make what I enjoy making, and I hope that other people enjoy it as well. This video in particular is my 4th annual self-portrait. Every year at the start of the year I like to make a self-portrait and record the process and kind of use it as my channel trailer as a little introduction to me and who I am and like what my art looks like, and also I guess what I look like. And I also use it as an opportunity to kind of reflect on how my art has grown from the last self-portrait, and yeah, I just really like it as a little introduction channel trailer type thing. It's also been interesting throughout the years to kind of see how my art changes from portrait to portrait, from year to year. It's just a good benchmark to have, like a self-portrait every single year, to kind of look back on not only your artistic skills but also how your portrayal of yourself has changed, how maybe your appearance has changed, how your thoughts on art have changed, because they all have voiceovers, and I talk about my process in every single one of them, and they've changed drastically throughout the years, and it's just a very good measurement of where I am as a person and an artist, because a self-portrait kind of combines those two things. Self-portrait is also a very basic form of expression. You're not really worried about trying to make it look like a certain character or trying to portray somebody else's idea accurately, or like capture somebody else's likeness or anything. It's just very kind of a laid-back form of drawing or painting, and yeah, there's not a lot to worry about because you're the most familiar with yourself and what you look like and how you want to portray that on a piece of paper. So yeah, I just find self-portraits to be very interesting. Like, I don't know, I think it's a very interesting measure of what an artist is and does. So let's take a little trip down memory lane and talk about my first self-portrait, which was done in Copic marker in 2016. It was definitely very Disney, anime, Bailey J inspired, I would say. I definitely had a very heavy like art YouTuber Copic marker phase where I thought that Copic markers were the best, and I was just watching a bunch of art YouTubers who used them, and I was trying to emulate that kind of style. I'm sure a lot of people who are my age and started art around the same time as me can relate to that situation of like buying a bunch of alcohol markers and running out of them very quickly because the ink dries up so quickly and they're so expensive. It's not worth it, in my opinion, if you use alcohol markers. Anyway, this has been a tangent about alcohol markers. Anyway, but yeah, that one was very cartoony and simplistic and Disney inspired, I would say. And then the next year took a very big turn, and I started doing watercolor in my personal art, but I hadn't quite mastered how to make it look clean and neat like I do now. It was very loose and washy is the only way that I can think to describe it. It was definitely very abstract and very, very different from the previous year's portrait. And I think it was kind of representative of where I was that year because I was experimenting a lot with my art. I was kind of breaking out of that style that I had boxed myself into, and just trying new things. And yeah, that's what that portrait kind of represents for me. And then the next year I did an acrylic portrait, and it was again very cartoony, but it was very simplistic and definitely better executed than the last two. And yeah, it had the triangle nose that I do frequently. It had the circle head, and it was just a very simplistic, dumbed down version of what I look like. And yeah, I still enjoy that one, but I feel like I have kind of moved on from that. Last year I remember saying that I was very confident at where my style was going, and I knew what I wanted to do with art, and I felt like I knew where my art was going and all this stuff. And I can't say that that's true anymore. I feel like I have a solid idea of what I'm interested in and like what I like to make, but it's not one cohesive thing like I thought it was last year. Last year I definitely thought that I knew what my style was like, and I knew the field that I wanted to participate in. I knew the field of like the occupation that I wanted to go into, and how my style kind of fit into that field. And now I'm not so sure. I'm interested in a lot of different things artistically. I like a lot of different mediums. I like to study from real life, but I also like cartoony animation based stuff, so I don't know. Anyway, I digress. This year's self-portrait is very almost realistic in a way. It's definitely a lot more detailed, and all of my features are more defined. It's in gouache, which is something that I got for Christmas. I've dabbled in gouache before, but this is some high quality holbein gouache, so this is fancy stuff. I don't want to spoil too much about it because hopefully I will be doing a review on this paint in a couple of weeks, but yeah, it's definitely a very different one from last year's portrait. And yeah, I'm just very excited to continue with these portraits and see how they change from year to year, because so far the change between years has been very drastic. Okay, so fun story. This self-portrait is accidentally a redraw of my very first portrait in 2016. They both have solid yellow backgrounds, and I am wearing a green shirt in both of them, so I accidentally did a little redraw challenge without even meaning to. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny because both of them are, I don't know, they're similar, but like my style, whatever my style is, has changed so much, and this one is definitely a very big improvement. And yeah, I'm glad that they did turn out the same, because it's a very clear improvement that I can look at now. Yeah, and that makes me happy because all of this drawing and work that I've put in has paid off in a very clear and explicit way that I can see with my eyeballs. Okay, so if you are a follower of my channel already, you know that I have been a little MIA for the last couple of months. I've been very busy with things in life. I feel like I always come back and say that, and I'm like, oh, I'm so busy in life and I haven't made videos because I'm so busy. But it's the truth. I have been doing a lot of different things. A lot of things that I'm excited about. I took a coding class, which is really fun. I auditioned for a musical, which I think I've already mentioned as well. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of different things. I've been learning dancing for this musical that I'm in. I've been learning how to sing, like, with proper technique and everything, and act also. Basically, I went into this musical not knowing anything about how to do musical theater, and I've just been learning it all. I've also just been doing normal classes like math and English and history and all of that, and growing in those areas. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. This last year has been a little bit of a roller coaster of emotions. I feel like I've just been doing so much more than I usually do. Oh, I also got hired, which is going to be a new experience. And yeah, it's just a lot of changes going on currently, and I am excited about the future. Yeah. So that's just kind of my explanation of why I've been missing and why I might continue to be missing. But I have made it my goal in this new year to kind of stay on top of things and keep up with my channel. I made a goal to make at least 10 videos, which I know sounds like a very low amount of videos, but last year I made 22, I believe. So 10 is definitely a very low number to aim for, but I purposefully made it low so that I could hopefully achieve that goal pretty easily, and go beyond it, you know what I mean? Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're new, I hope that you decide to stick around. I apologize if this video was maybe a little bit off the cuff, not very structured, but yeah, this has been my self-portrait for this year. I hope that you guys appreciated it. I enjoyed catching up with you all, and I will see you in the next one.